Both the WordPress.com service and a self-hosted WordPress setup support multiple users. There is, however, a difference in how new user accounts are set up. On WordPress.com, each user must have a WordPress.com account and must be invited by the blog's owner. On a self-hosted WordPress blog, no WordPress.com account is necessary. Depending on how options are set, a user may be able to set up his own account, and the blog owner can manually add an unlimited number of accounts to the blog. Let me show you how this works. On a WordPress.com account, you'll see that there's a list of users. This blog happens to have several users. And if you wanted to add a user from the community, in other words, a WordPress.com account holder, you would just type in their email here, set a role for them, and add them. And that's all you have to do. If the person did not have a WordPress.com account, you would use this form to invite them, put in their name, their email, and this basically sends them an email message with a special code to set them up. And also it maintains a list of people you've already invited. Now, on a self-hosted WordPress account, you still have that user list that we saw on the WordPress.com account, but there's no form in here to invite anybody. Instead, what you can do is you can use the Add New User Administration panel to enter information about a user and add him. So you put in a username, which is a short version of the person's name, first name, last name, email address. If they have a website, you can add it. And then you'd assign them a password that you would enter twice, and that would add them to the account. And let's give this a try. Let's add somebody. We're going to add somebody named Tom, and his name is Tom Jones. And it's tom@jones.com. And then we could type in a website if he had one. He doesn't have one. And we're going to give him a password. We'll just keep it simple. 12345 and 12345. And after doing that, we can also pick a role for this user. Now, another thing that's different about a self-hosted version of WordPress is that there's an additional role that's not available on WordPress.com, and that's the subscriber role. This is the lowest level of role. It allows a person to access content that you might normally prevent them from accessing. For example, the ability to add comments. They might need to be logged in to add comments, and the only way they could be logged in is if they have an account. But if you don't want them to do anything else, you give them the subscriber level of account, the subscriber role, and that would allow them to log in, but the only thing they can really do would be to enter comments and do things like that. They wouldn't be able to write content or change anything else on the blog. These other roles are the same as they are on a WordPress.com blog. And the one thing I want to emphasize again here is that you should not give the administrator role to anybody unless you really, really trust them, because they could do some bad things to your blog if you're not careful. I don't recommend giving that to anybody except basically yourself. So anyway, the new user can be a subscriber, and I'll just add this user just to give it a try. And it says new user created, and this is his information. If you wanted to edit him, you'd click edit, or you can also delete his account. And if we go back to the list of all users, right now we're just looking at subscribers, but if I go to all users, you'll see both users listed. And as many users as you've got, that's what will be listed here. The other thing you can do on a self-hosted WordPress blog is you could set it up so that anybody can register themselves. So if you turn on this checkbox, anyone can register, and I'll save that. Okay, then we'll go to the home page. And right now we're still logged in. So I'm going to click log out here in the administration area, the meta area. And I'm logged out. So now if I go back to the blog, just go to Springfield, and I'm not logged in, I'm nobody, I'm just any old person who happened to wander onto the blog, there's a register option here now. There's also a login option in case I just happen to be logged out and I am already registered. If I wanted to register, I'd click the register link here, and then it would allow me to enter username and email to register for the site. So maybe I'll call myself M. Langer. And an email, a real email address. It's going to mail you the information. I can't use the one I've already used for this, so I'll just put in another one. And then click register. And now what I would have to do to log in is I would have to check my email, and once I check my email, I would have an account. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in as the administrator of this account and check to see that new registration. Logging in. Okay, and now if I go back to users up here, Authors and users. You'll see that I have the new account just added, the M. Langer account. And that's also by default added as a subscriber. So as you can see here, if you manage a self-hosted WordPress blog, you can easily add users at any time or allow blog visitors to set up their own account. And with the addition of a low-level role called subscriber, you can give only registered users access to discussion features while preventing those users from creating new posts or pages on your blog.